Look at my boy in the back. Oh shit. Isn't he cute? Wait, there you go. Look how cute he is. Oh my god, my heart. What's up, guys? What's going on? I hope you've been well. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. Thank you for being here and clicking on the video. I very much appreciate it. So we're going to be doing another breakdown video today. We're going to be doing... What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? We're going to be doing Rock With You by Michael Jackson, which is classic Michael Jackson sort of sound. So we're just going to really dive in, especially with the chords and stuff and some of the arrangement technique as well. And yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, I'm going to skip the chords for the intro because they're the same chords as the chorus, so I'll get into the chords and the theory when we get to the chorus. So let's start with the verse right away. If you want to follow along more easily, I did write up a chord chart really quick, so feel free to download that. It should be in the caption, so if you would like to follow along and it makes it easier, go ahead and do that. You start with E flat minor 9. Okay, so for these, the guitar only really plays like the top 3 or 4 strings throughout the whole thing, so you don't have to play the whole chord. I usually just play the top 3 strings for the E flat minor 9. Or you can do 4, so that's the first chord. And then the second bar is the same, so... And then the next chord is A flat over B flat. So the A flat major chord with the B flat in the bass. So this is A flat. And then you add the B flat in the bass. But often as a guitar player, you don't even really have to play that note in the bass because typically the bass guitar has it anyway. So I'm just playing the A flat, so you just use the major shape on top. Then again. Okay, and then the next part of the verse, you're playing E flat minor 9 again, but you hold the notes out longer. So I was kind of playing it, the articulation wrong when I was just doing now, but they play very short in the song for that first part of the verse. And this part of the verse, then you elongate that last note. So you play E flat minor 9 again, then F minor 7, then B major 7, and then G flat over A flat. So you just move this shape that we made down 2 frets. So you don't have to play the A flat in the bass, you can just play the G flat major chord on top. So let's go for that the elongated part of the verse, the second half. I did the chord analysis in E flat Dorian. The root scale of this is D flat major. So D flat major. But you're starting on E flat as the root. So E flat is the root. And then you play the D flat major scale, but start on E flat go up to E flat and come back down, and that's E flat Dorian. So here's D flat, go up to E flat, start there. So that's where we get E flat Dorian, and I'm doing the analysis in the key of E flat Dorian. So that being said, if you're starting on E flat minor 9, that would be 1 minor 9, simple enough. Then you're doing A flat major over B flat. So A flat major is 4 major, and then the B flat within the context of A flat major is the 9 of the chord, or the second, but we use 9 because it's an extension. So I just say this is 4 major, add 9, and then that repeats again, and then when you get to the second half of the verse, you do E flat minor 9, which is 1 minor 9, then you do F minor 7, right, which is 2 minor 7, and the next one is B major 7, which I said, but technically this is C, within the correct key, this is C flat major 7, which is not in E flat Dorian. That's actually an E flat Aeolian, so that's a borrowed chord from E flat Aeolian, because E flat Dorian has C, not C flat. So the C flat comes from Aeolian. So that being said, we would have C flat major 7, but I called it B major 7 because it's easier to look at and honestly makes more sense to most people. So that would be flat 6 major 7. And then finally we have the G flat over A flat. And if you have G flat major within the key of E flat Dorian, that would be the 3 major, and then you have the 9 in the bass, so I just said it's 3 add 9. First of all, iconic drum intro. That fill is iconic. Like, they wanted a fill that was memorable, and it certainly is. You know, I haven't heard a fill that introduces a song like that sounds like that, so that was cool. We love the drum fill in the beginning. So the beginning is basically like a copy of the chorus, so that's what they're playing. I love the bass line, super groovy, and it sounds really fun to play. I personally don't know I haven't learned the bass part, but it sounds really fun to play. I like the guitar articulation. It's very like funk oriented. It's very short articulations typically, and it's more syncopated. There's more space between notes. Like there's not a lot of like long notes or held out chords. It's very much like you play the top 3 strings really only, and you're just doing like 16th note, 8th note rhythm, syncopated stuff like that, which I like. You know, it makes the guitar part not only iconic and stand out, but it's still enough to the side where it doesn't take up the whole show. Same with the bass line and same with the drums. I think they all have their own place that they fit into to make this song what it is, but still gives Michael Jackson plenty of space to do his thing. I've always loved his voice because he always has a way of expressing in his voice what he's saying or what he's feeling. And it's really hard to do, especially in this verse. He makes it sound really smooth, almost like he's whispering, but not quite. It's just very smooth and elongated, which is a nice contrast when you have the guitar going very short and articulated and staccato in the background. But there's still like some smooth synth pads behind it that make it real sexy still, but still groovy and funky. So yeah, that's cool. I love the first verse, love the intro.
You gotta feel that heat, and we can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night, dance you into the sunlight. I wanna rock with you all night, gonna rock the night away.
Once we get to the pre-chorus, this is my favorite part to sing along to and also play. So you're starting with E flat minor 7, then you're going up to F minor 7, then G flat major 7. When you feel that heat, right, and then you rest, and then same thing, then you end on A flat major. And then you rest, and then same thing, then you end on A flat major. So it sounds like this. E flat minor 7, again, is 1 minor 7. Then you go up to F, which is 2 minor 7. We also saw G flat already, so that would be 3 major 7. And then you do that again. Then you end on A flat, which we also saw, which is 4 major. So that's easy enough. Let's get to the chorus. This is probably, at least for me, the most memorable part of the song for the guitar. E flat minor 9 again. Then A flat, up to B flat, E flat minor 9 again, A flat again, up to B this time, same as the first time. Then you go down to G flat over A flat again, but you don't have to play the bass, so just G flat, up to A flat. So let me play the whole thing. I believe we've seen all of these chords in other parts of the song, so I'm going to go through it real quickly though. E flat minor 9 is 1 minor 9, then you go to A flat, which is 4 major, then you add the 9 in the bass, then you go to 5, which is B flat, and then back to E flat minor 9, which is 1 minor 9, back to A flat over B flat, which is 4 major, add 9, then up to B over D flat. Again, instead of it being B, it's easier to read, but it would actually be C flat over D flat, which is again borrowed from E flat Aeolian. So that would be flat 6, add 9. Go back to E flat minor 9, which is 1 minor 9, back to 4, then 5. And then you get down to the G flat over A flat. So the G flat again is 3 major, up to A flat is 4. The second half of the verse, but it starts with 2 bars of E flat minor 9. And this is, I play the whole chord in this part. Then it goes to E flat 9. Instead of that minor third, you move it up to the major third. Play the E flat 9 for 2 bars. And then you get to, basically you're going to play the second half of the verse as they would play it. E flat minor 9, F minor 7, B major 7, G flat. So the whole thing sounds like this. Then we get to that like synthy solo thing, and that's like right before the key change. But you're basically playing the chorus, and then but there's an extension, one more chord you add at the end of the phrase. So let me just go through it normally. A flat, B flat, A flat, B, A flat, B flat, D flat, so you add the D flat at the end. And then you repeat that phrase again. Basically, you're only adding the D flat, and we haven't seen D flat yet, but D flat is in the key of E flat Dorian, which would be 7 major. So, not too difficult. You're using the same shape throughout almost the whole song, except for the E flat minor 9 and the E flat 9. The rest of them, you're using that major shape. Right. So, well, first of all, I like that they all come together in those quarter note hits for the pre-chorus. When you feel that heat, right? They all play those quarter notes, and Michael Jackson's singing along with it too. So I like that it all comes together, and you really know that this is like the next section of the song. And also the fact that the chords are moving up feels like it's building up to something. So I also like that choice that they're using chords where it goes physically up in the notes. I also like that they add a crap ton of backing vocals to this because it really adds to like the building, the energy. And then you get to the chorus, and I really like how they structured this chorus because it's like very call and response, where he's says, "I want to rock with you," and then the backing vocals say "all night." So I love that there's a call and response, because that's also like a fairly common writing technique, or it used to be. I don't know if it's as common now, and especially in like pop music. I really like how he used that to his advantage. And a lot of it, there's not really a lot of notes that they add in the backing vocals. It's more they're just doubling the same note, which I think is cool. It's just to add like that sort of like there's a crowd singing back, which I think is really cool. Yeah, and then the guitar and bass are pretty similar to what they've been playing, but a little notier. And then there's that little trumpet line going, which I like that he adds horns and strings that we had in the beginning of the song. So love that he uses live instruments. I am always a fan of that.
Out on the floor, there ain't nobody there but us. Girl, when you dance, there's a magic that must be love. Just take it slow, 'cause we got so far to go.
I like that halfway through the verse, that bass line gets a little show going with a little run going down after Michael does his thing and there's a break. The bass gets to do a little run, a little fill. So I love that. I love that the bass is super interesting, super fun to play, and very present in the mix. Like, it's not just there to keep the groove down, which there's nothing wrong with that. And the bass is certainly doing that here, but it does get more glory, I'd say, than what you would probably hear in a pop song now. So gotta love that. Again, I typically mention this like energy level thing throughout, my analyses, and this is no exception. So there's definitely more stuff going on in this second verse as opposed to the first one. Like, there's strings at the end of the verse, and there's just more fills with background instruments for the most part, and that's what adds a little bit more energy throughout the second verse. But it's still very, like, the guitar part is pretty much the same. The bass is, for the most part, the same. So yeah, just adding a little bit more movement added a little bit more energy as opposed to the first verse, which is good. That's kind of what you want in a typical song. You don't want it to stay the same energy as like the intro.
When you feel that heat, and we gonna ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night, dance you into the sunlight. I wanna rock with you all night. We gonna rock the night away.
Yeah, and the second chorus is about the same, except again, there's a little bit more instrument fills, more strings, more trumpet. So yeah, I think it's just less sparse on those instruments. They're playing a little bit more and a little more interesting parts to, again, add more interest and energy from the first chorus to the second chorus. But it's not too different to where like, oh, this is a whole new section, which is good. So again, a little bit more energy. And then let's get into the bridge.
And when the groove is dead and gone, yeah, you know that love survives, so we can rock forever.
bridge is almost the same as I freaking love the horn lines in this. I know they're just doing real staccato eighth notes, but that's one of my favorite parts is when you use horns and they're real blasty, but really clean. So I know technical terms, but yeah, I love the horns that respond to what Michael Jackson's singing, and Michael Jackson's singing real smooth again. Like, he's really singing pretty smooth throughout the whole thing, but he's not belting as much. The only time he belts is really in the chorus, so I like that he brings it down to this really smooth legato singing when he's outside of the chorus, because it really helps differentiate the sections as well. Oh, I just heard the saxes too. Oh yeah, we love the horns. Yeah, I don't know what instrument this is, that like little synthy solo thingy, but it works for the song. Like, the sound itself works for the song, and I think it adds a little bit more length to the song. I could personally do without it, but it doesn't sound bad in the song either. So I guess it's really up to personal preference, honestly, if you like it or not. I don't hate it, but like, again, I don't think it necessarily needs to be there. And then that just leads into the last chorus out, and that is where we change keys. You just go up a half step, which honestly I'm not mad at either. Like, typically when you just do a key change that goes up a half step, I'm usually like, was that really necessary? Like, typically I say no. And in this one I would say it's not necessary, but it doesn't bother me either, if that makes sense. Like, I don't mind it, but I don't think it needs to be there. For me, it doesn't really add much. To some people, I think those type of key changes, definitely it catches your attention again. So maybe they were just trying not to be too repetitive. But honestly, I would have been vibing if they were still in the same key and just rode that out to the end of the song. But to each their own. Overall, like, this is a really, really great example of a, like a pop soul tune. And it shows that, like, you don't need a crap ton of synths or instruments or even layered stuff to make a good song, because the meat and potatoes of the song is really just vocals, bass, guitar, and drums. And then you have some stuff in the background, but there's not a ton that adds to the song. I mean, all of it adds to the song, but sometimes less is more. Like this guitar part, it's like da 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 da. Not a lot of playing there, but it fits into the song super well, right into the place where it needs to be. I think if it played more or was a little too extra, it would have been too distracting. So generally, I just think the songwriting and arranging is really good as far as every instrument having its like really defined place, so no one's stepping on each other's toes, basically. So I like that. Like, it's not too crazy, it's not too oversaturated, I guess, which kind of happened after Phil Spector with his, what a fantastic guy. Oh god, if you know the backstory of him, you know, but he created the wall of sound, and while I like it and it was very innovative, I don't think everything has to be in your face. The wall of sound is about everything about being just in your face. So I don't think that's always necessary, and there's certainly ways to know when to add more and know when less is more. So I think this song is a really great example of that, and Michael Jackson as a vocalist has always been fantastic, so his vocals are always really good and really expressive and add so much emotion to the song. So let me know what you guys thought of the song. Thank you for watching. If you've made it all the way here, I appreciate you so very much. If you enjoyed this, please give a like and subscribe if you feel like doing so. Maybe leave a comment below of what songs you would like a breakdown of. I would love to hear what you guys would want to see a breakdown of. I like doing these, so it'd be cool to get some where you guys really, really like the song and want to get more in the trenches of the song. All right, well, remember to drink water and give yourself plenty of rest, please. We could all use more rest these days. We could also all use more compassion, and especially self-compassion. So yeah, I will see you guys later this week. I hope you have a good one.